Hello there. Today we are going to talk about how to write TPN in NICU using Epic. This principle basically can apply to any other EHR, but because we use Epic here, so we are just going to talk about it. If you find any mistakes or any problems, please reach out to me. The email is neomd@neomanzer.com. Anyway, let's start. So what we basically need before we write TPN. So we need the weight of the baby. In this case is 0.86 kilo. We need how much fluid we want to give. So we know it's 160 ml per kg per day. And of course, all the electrolytes we need. And you can type it somewhere, write it somewhere, or you can directly look in the Epic EHR, whatever is feasible to you. After knowing that, what you have to do, you have to go to the Epic order and select on the order column, write Neo TPN. Once you write Neo TPN, you will come to, you will see, let me show with the laser. Give me 1 second. Okay, here, I think, yeah. So now what you can see you see here, Neo TPN. So you select that. And then once you do that, this screen will pop up. So you select Neo TPN, and you have to do twice because sometimes we cannot select both at one time. So don't worry, select one at each time. Once you do that, you will get to this screen, and just leave it here, and I will walk you through what you have to do. So up to here, let's revise again. So you have to know the current weight of the baby, total fluid, electrolytes, and then three windows on the Epic order. First, the write Neo TPN. You get the screen, select two options. Usually we select a SMOF lipid in premature babies. We don't select fat emulsion, and then you select TPN. So that you can get to this order frame. So now let's go to next slide. So now again, a revision that you have to remember what is abnormal in the electrolytes, because you have to use a combination of your cations and anions, and I'll walk you through how you do that. So let's start. So we need weight and we have fluid. So first step you have to do is to calculate how much total fluid the baby requires. In this case, you multiply and you get 137.6. For this presentation sake, we are going to use a round number. And again, if you find any mistake, please reach out to me on my email, neomd@neomanzer.com. So step 2, you have to subtract any other fluid the baby is getting or baby is receiving. Like in this case, the baby is being fed 2 ml every 3 hours. So that is 2 times 8 is 16 ml. Baby is getting some IV fluid running through the port 2 of UVC. So that is 0.3. And then you time it 24, 7.2. And baby is getting fentanyl drip. So altogether, the total fluid already consumed is 28 ml. In certain cases, some babies are NPO and they are on dopamine, dobutamine, vasopressin, milrinol. All the drip, what they are taking, you multiply those ml per hour by 24 and get the total volume. So the concept is, you want to have all fluid subtracted before you come to write your TPN so that your total fluid will remain the same. I hope I'm making it clear to you guys. So then what you do, once you have this fluid which is utilized and you calculated it, you subtract from your total calculated fluid. In this case, it was 138. So now we got to 110 ml. So now in conclusion, after eliminating everything, we have 110 ml left for our TPN. So what we usually do, we select lipid first, and this window will pop up. And then the moment you choose how much gram you want to give, it will automatically calculate the ml required. So you just subtract this ml from your total fluid and you get to 110 ml. Again, let me revise. So you have 110 ml left. You select lipid and you see in the box, the big circle, you can see there how much is the fluid calculated there. You just subtract it from your total fluid, which was 110, and then you see in this case we got 101 ml. So now you go to next step, and now you will get to the window which is TPN window. So whatever fluid is left, you just put it in this this vacant box where it says volume. So again, revision, you select ml per kg, you subtract all the fluid the baby is getting, then you subtract lipid from your fluid. Whatever fluid is remaining is your TPN fluid. So you write there and you see the weight is there, and always select which infusion site you want to use. If it's a PICC line, you select central there. If it's an umbilical line, in this case, we have selected umbilical line. So next step, you are going down the TPN thing. So two things here, macronutrients, you have to select your amino acid and glucose. In this case, you see that glucose is high, is 178. So just make sure you select either 7.5 or 5. And for protein, we see that BUN here is 34. So we should be okay with 3.5 if in this baby. Make sure baby get enough protein. They need it to grow and prevent negative nitrogen balance. The next thing is very important, which is the electrolytes. And in this screen, you see there are three options to give sodium. Here they are. And there are three options to give potassium, three options to give potassium. So either you can select sodium phosphate, sodium acetate, sodium chloride, or you can do potassium acetate, potassium chloride, or potassium phosphate. It all really depends upon the combination available. Like here we see that sodium is low and I have to give some bicarb. So I think sodium acetate will be a better choice. I can even choose sodium phosphate in this case because phosphate is low. Calcium is all fine and magnesium is all fine. So the combination really depends. I want to choose sodium over potassium because, you know, sodium and an extracellular ion and it's better to control. But if you are stuck and your sodium is already more than 6 or 7 MEQ per kg per, or 7 MEQ per kg per day, probably potassium is a better option. So for example, in this case, I will select sodium phosphate 1.5. I will select sodium acetate 2. Sodium chloride, I might not add. I will select maybe potassium phosphate of 1, and I don't need potassium, any other component for that. So that is the basic combination. And again, this can change depending upon the electrolyte. Whatever electrolyte you have, make sure you adjust that. And the good part is that in our institution, the pharmacy is overlooking it. So even if you do a minimal mistake, they will really catch it. So your next screen is trace element. First is cysteine. Cysteine we usually add to make sure that our fluid remain non-acidic depending upon the amino acid added. So there are two options available in the drop down, 60 and 80, and you choose that according to the protocol. Usually we select 80 if we are giving more than 3.5 gram of protein. In this screen, I haven't shown the drop down or the pre-selected value. Whenever you open your TPN, you will see that pre-selected value. So it's no rocket science. You just have to choose between the two. Same thing with multivitamin. You'll be given a dose and the drop down will give you based on the weight of the baby. So you just select that. Like in this case, you will select the lower option because baby is less than a kilo. Same thing with trace element. Check that off and make sure you choose the right amount depending upon the weight of the baby. Zinc, we select. Selenium, we don't do select automatically. Levocarnitine, we select if the TPN is going beyond 2 weeks, we select levocarnitine. Heparin is selected in most of the TPN because they are running through the central line. There are two options given for heparin. One is 0.5 and one is 1. We usually select 0.5. Famotidine is given there just in case if there's a GI bleed and you want to add, and there will be 2 doses given, you can select that. Cupric chloride, we rarely use. There's an option there. If you want to add more in addition to trace element, you can do that. So this is it basically. So again, in revision, let me just revise it. So basically, to write TPN, you have to know the weight of the baby and how much fluid you want to give. You multiply that, you get a volume. Whatever volume you get, make sure you subtract all the other volume which the baby is getting, like all IV drips and feeding. Whatever volume is left now, you subtract your lipid from there. That volume is your final TPN volume that you are going to use in the TPN. Make sure you have electrolytes. Make sure you adjust it according to the need. So I hope this helps, and please again reach out to me if you have any question. And again, my email is neomd@neomanzer.com, and you can go to the website. This is there, and if you have any question, you can chat me on that website, or you can write comments under this post. Hope this helps.